hands up.
We need that thing with the 3 minutes, right here.
Okay, so this is breakout number 1. It had 2 parts to it. It was both about scaling. It was both about how do we encourage more schools to incorporate technology really as a tool to transform all of teaching and learning. And as a parallel side to that, how do we equip educators to build the skills and redefine their own roles to deliver this kind of teaching and learning. First, there's a commonality across both of them that there was a huge need for just better information, more understanding of what, when we talk about blended learning, what are all the various things on this taxonomy from left to right? What are the entry points? What would it look like? And if you are a school leader wanting to get started on this, how do you get on that highway? And where do you get, having the tools to be able to get started from where you are, not necessarily the full transformation. And on the schools, on the educator side, there's a lot of demand for really understanding what the skills are, the capacities for this new teaching and learning. What are we expecting educators to do? What are the roles that it's going to look like? And it's not just going to be, and what are the commensurate skills that need to be developed? Another parallel point was the need for building these proof points that exist. And this is both on the schools to really understand what they are and building to a certain extent, as well as also recognizing those teachers that have built these kinds of skills and so forth. But the major part of the emphasis of the conversation was on how this was going to scale. It was not going to scale from some top-down version of things, but rather scaling by being able to look at those proof points and have a shareable knowledge base. Or in the case of the educators, a significant emphasis on peer-to-peer learning, being able to have early adopters and those you look at that are trusted. And in many cases, a high degree of skepticism that this would start with in any place in the schools of education. And finally, a third common thread was that we need to think about encouraging environments where they have low barrier or low risk to be able to take on. So in schools, being able to take on, in some cases, it's because they have no other choice. They're willing to take on this kind of innovation. Or that the barriers to, like in the I-zone in New York City, where there's an environment in which innovation performs competition, the risks of failure are low. And at the same time, on the educator side, trying to encourage educators to try out things that have low risks to innovation and using that as the peer-to-peer learning process so that we start with figuring out what educators can do, what they would be encouraged to do, and then work from there. So those are the 3 big things we cut across. And I just want to thank all the folks in the group that I moderated. And we had far much more to talk about than we had time. So thank you.